All right, I decided to do a quick part two because it was super easy. So data wrangling. So now that we've opened the files, now I'm just going to look. So on VS Code, another reason why I really like VS Code is that in the extensions you can get different extensions. Like this is like a colorful CSV extension, and it makes it super easy to like see where I'm looking in the file here. So like for example, all of these markers, blah blah blah, they're all color coded. So the first column right here, which is called nothing, as you can see, this little character right here is what pandas is gonna say this whole column is called, which would be here unnamed 0 is our frame, right? And then unnamed 1 is sub frame. And then group 1, which is here, group 1 here is the cyan or whatever color you call it. You know, you can see it right here. And that way, if you have this extension, or, you know, if you use your amazing, beautiful eyesight, you can index this just how you want it. So if I'm going to go, just for a simple example, I'm going to go back into the hop reaction forces, or force plates. So here you can see that there's frame, which is unnamed 0. So if you print df1.keys right here, which is this is df1, you're going to see unnamed 0, unnamed 1, force plate force, unnamed 3, unnamed 4. So let's match that with what we see here. So unnamed 0 is Panda's way of saying a single column, right? So that's right here. That's our frame. So then subframe is the red, right? Force plate force, which you may think is, okay, force plate force, that's the title of the thing. No, that represents fx, right? Because pandas takes the very first index of the first column as the title for the whole column. So CSVs, they're separated by commas. So if there's nothing there, it's going to say unnamed 1, which is kind of useful, but also might be a little annoying. So we know that when we call right here, when we call df1 force plate force, this is force x. So this right here that I'm in is like a mini Jupyter notebook. I'm just using the Python interpreter. Now that's another extension. Otherwise, you know, I'd have to run the whole test.py again. This is just an efficient way of doing it. But so let's see if we can get force plate force into a readable thing. So notice how right now the force plate force, when we print it out, we're going to get fx and then newtons. So when we go to plot this, that's no good, right? When we go to plot this, it's going to give us an error. Well, these aren't integers, these are strings, these are letters. Why don't we have the numbers? So what we can do pretty easily is oh, I don't want to do that, is we're going to say force x equals, and we're going to do np.array, which I don't think I have. So okay, so I don't have numpy imported, so we're going to do import numpy as np, right? First thing we're going to run. Now we're going to do force x equals np.array df1 force plate force. So that's going to make this into an array. Now the second thing I want to do, right, is remember these things. We're gonna say, okay, 1 colon. So with this, we're indexing 1 colon. This means that, remember, this is the 0th index. It says it right here, and this is the first index. 1 colon says I'm taking everything after the first index, so everything after this. So now when we print out force x, oh, okay, I messed it up. Sorry, it's not inclusive. We want this to be, oh, I can't edit it. We want this to be a 2, sorry. Okay, 2 takes everything from 2 down. Oops. Now when we print force x, boom. Okay. So let's just try and plot it just for fun. plt.plot. I don't even know if this is gonna work. Force x. Oh. Plot.show. Let's see what we got. Oh, what the? Okay, so well. So I didn't really give it. Okay, this is for part 3, but Um, that's the general basic of remember, this is all about data wrangling. A lot of it is all about data wrangling. And once you follow this little that little tutorial just for this, you can follow it for any of this. So say you want, group one sternum. All right, well, that's going to be group one sternum is associated with, see, it's also like, sometimes it's a little hard, but you can also experiment with it. You can also just count. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oops, 1 or 0, 1, and then 2, 3, 4. You kind of get, hopefully you get the point a little bit there, but obviously this one's a little bit harder. Another trick for data wrangling, something like this, is you can go into the Excel, the CSV, and just copy and paste the columns you want, kind of, into a different CSV and then make it in. Because if I go to DF2, right? I mean, we got all of this. If I go to DF2, oops, group 1 are, we're going to get X. So if you do DF2 dot keys, again, you print this out. Another way to do it is, okay, group 1 acrum X is right here, and then it goes X, Y, Z. So you know that, okay, we're going to look for group 1 acrum. So this is X. This is actually our X. So that means this is our Y for that, and this is our Z. You can kind of go based off that. It's a little confusing, but VS Code will help you do it. More encouragement to go from Spider. Spider will make your life harder. Because, otherwise you'd have to run this code, print df2.keys, all that stuff. But general basis for this data wrangling part is, you kind of got to use more. You can't just, you got to use some tricks to get the data you want. But hopefully that helps some of you if you're struggling with the data stuff and if you get those little mini errors. So hopefully that clears up everything with that. And hopefully you'll be able to, take averages and do your plotting that you've learned from the previous videos that I've had. And then the next video I'll make will be about filtering this data. So cool. Okay. Oh no.